hi there. Sudden dramatic sound shift. But hey, it is time finally to finish this escape book, and I'm super excited about it. So let me really quickly grab the book. I feel like that would probably be useful over here. And da-da-da, I'm pretty sure that we will finish this in about an hour, would be my guess, but we shall see. Of course, now my Sherlock music is too quiet. Excuse you, sir. Be a little bit louder. It's fine. We're good. So, I have been away, but I'm back and doing lots of things. So, we're going to go ahead and tackle this. The last we left off, I have my beautiful bookmark. We were in St. John's Chapel. So, I need to do a little bit of reading for y'all. Oh, and I have the visual. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Ta-da-da! There we go. So, St. John's Chapel. Back at the White Tower, Watson leads the way up the stairs to the second story. Upon entering the chapel, you are both silenced, moved to stillness. No words can do justice to the beauty of the chapel's domed vault, curved gallery, and elegant Romanesque arches. In quotes, the Normans may have had a martial bent. I can read, I promise. A martial bent, but they had something of an eye for beauty as well, Watson says, rather too loudly. Here, Holmes, we are taken right back to the time of William the Conqueror. This chapel has been standing for more than 800 years, since 1078. I find it fascinating that this version of Watson is obsessed with telling us the history of every place we go to. Like, that's not a Watson that I know. But anyway. But a certain Professor Moriarty has been busy much more recently, you note, in the stronger morning light falling through the windows. Wherever you have been, your redoubtable foe has been there first, and you are merely following a path he has set through the tower. You're piecing together the puzzle, but there is still much that is troubling. Odon must be somewhere ahead of you in the sequence of rooms. Oh yes, we are going after the composer dude who has been kidnapped. Kind of an important thing. There's a concert later this morning on the bridge to celebrate the Queen's longevity on the throne. She herself will be in attendance. Is she in danger? Hello, Wizard Styles. Welcome. I don't remember if you've been a part of the escape book thing so far, but we have lots of puzzles and things. And I'm currently reading the section that we're on. I'm tossing the link in the chat again. Oh, did I do it right? I did. So if you want to join with the Tower Wheel, you can. For decoding things. It's a digital version of the wheel I have on the front of my book. Okay, so we're in St. John's Chapel. We're looking for someone, and back to the book. Okay, so we're trying to find a composer who has gone missing somewhere in the Tower of London. So that is the task. Moriarty is to blame, because of course he is. Let's see. There's a concert later this morning on the bridge to celebrate the Queen's longevity on the throne. She herself will be in attendance. Is she in danger? And then I, Sherlock Holmes, say, someone with a much less developed sense of the beautiful has been at work with a paintbrush. Oh, I see. So you see over here, all of those pillars have been painted on, apparently. The doctor has seen it too. The work of nothing less than a vandal, he shouts angrily. Come, time is moving on. Let us concentrate on decoding the message. Oh, okay. Well, no worries. This is a very fun little escape book. So let's see. Let us concentrate on decoding the message, you say, and determining our next destination. What does the clock indicate? Oh, there's a clock on the ground. I didn't even notice that because my thumb was on it. And why has the column furthest to the right been clumsily painted over? Oh yeah, that's true. So we have a 1, a 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 7, a whole bunch, even more, and then like grayed over. And this is one of those puzzles. So this escape book has a whole bunch of different kinds of puzzles and riddles and things like that. This is one that I don't necessarily jive with personally, so I think I'm gonna look at a clue to see what they're trying to get at with this. It says, work out the next number in the sequence and turn to that paragraph. So what we're doing here is basically like a combination of an escape room slash choose your own adventure story where we play Sherlock Holmes. And I am not as smart as Holmes, and so I look up some of the, not the solutions, but the hints. So they have hints in the back. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Hints and solutions. So there's a hint section, which sometimes the hints are like, that's the thing that I knew, and I needed more information. And then sometimes it's actually helpful. So we're on 58. And the hint is, the clock face nudges you to view the sequence of pillars in a clockwise direction, that is left to right. How do the number of gray bricks change from pillar to pillar? Can you see any pattern behind the growing number of gray bricks? So 1, 3, 7. Can I count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 1, 3, 7, 13. I guess I'm counting all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then gray. Work out the next number in the sequence. What is the next number in the sequence? So we have the difference between 1 and 3 is 2. The difference between 3 and 7 is 4. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hello there, how's it going? We're trying to figure out what the next sequence is. So we have all of these pillars over here. The grayed in squares are 1, 3, 7, 13, 21, and then gray. And we're trying to figure out what the number is in the next number in the sequence. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 plus 8, I'm assuming, is 21. Math, hello? Yes. So 21 plus 10 is 31. So we want to go to number 31. Find out if that's correct. From 58. Aha! I mean, once you get the sequence down, you're good. So, yes. We are currently in St. John's Chapel. I can unfold that now. I know I folded this book, but it's one of those things you have to do for these kinds. Anyway, so it says, to the Martin Tower. Together you rush towards the Martin Tower. Why? Is Martin Tower number 31 on this map? Where's Martin Tower? There it is. It is number 31. So we have a map in the back of the book here, and they have a bunch of the towers and things numbered. And so it loosely is like, yes, this is set in the world that you're in. The numbers are on the map. So, okay, together you rush towards the Martin Tower. With every passing moment, the sun gets warmer and time for you to escape gets shorter. Watson is humming next to you as you walk. Or is the humming you? Or is it in the air? Interesting. You stop for a moment. Watson is agitated. Come on, Holmes, he calls. We've got no time. You listen intently. What is that, Watson, you ask? That sequence of notes again and again. Have we heard it? Is it in my mind? Watson stops and listens too. Where's it coming from, Holmes? He asks. You stand still, close your eyes to tune your ears into its location. Then quickly you turn away from the tower, towards some bushes and point. I believe it's over there. Watson rushes towards the bushes, and with a little too much enthusiasm. Okay. He dives in, surfacing moments later with the fourth Stradivarius string. So, for context, Wizard Styles, Holmes's very expensive Stradivarius violin went missing, and he was not bothered by this fact, and then he found it in the bushes somewhere in the tower, and we've been finding the individual strings for the violin this whole time. Okay. So, he holds it aloft, like a trophy, before catching himself and passing it to you. You're distracted, staring at some shrubs in the middle distance, where you are sure you can see branches moving and perhaps even a flick of human hair. What on earth? You exclaim, moving towards the shrubbery. Watson almost grabs you. We've got no time, he says, gesturing to the sun in the absence of a timepiece. We have the final string. Come on, Holmes. He is correct. Although... So to walk towards the shrubs, turn to 13. To continue to the Martin Tower, turn to 38. Well, going towards the mysterious shrubs has not failed me yet, so I'm going to continue. 13. In the shrubbery! 13. Now let's cover up 58. Go to 13. Yeah, violins do that a lot. Makes sense. Holmes wasn't bothered. Yeah, you know. So another thing that we have is that the music that we are getting here makes literally no sense. So that's exciting. So, oh geez, where is that notebook? I have a notebook that I've been taking all of these handy dandy notes in. Let me see, is it right here? I believe so. Problem is that my notes are pure chaos and I have notes for literally everything that I do in the same spot because logic. Okay, let's see. Not there because I already did all of that. Notes, notes, notes. There we go. Okay. I don't know if I took notes on these things specifically, but if that's the case, then I can just pull them up and look at them. Yeah, I didn't specifically take notes on these things. So we have the word sweet and then random scales that we will figure out at some point. So, you move towards the shrubbery, and after just a few moments searching, you find another note bearing a short musical phrase. This one has the title Sweet. There's no sign of the flick of hair or the person the hair belongs to. You stand up with a sigh and start making your way back towards the Martin Tower. These are musical phrases, Holmes, Watson asks, running slightly in an attempt to keep up. What are they? What do they mean? You don't respond. You're not quite sure what to say. No, neither am I sure what to say. This is not a proper musical staff, but anyway. So now I'm turning to 38. 38 is here. Okay. I'm going to cover this up again. So, you rush towards the Martin Tower. The light illuminating your path no longer has the fuzzy glow of dawn. It is morning and you are still stuck in the tower. In the full light of day, the reality of your situation hits you. Situation. Okay, good job, me. As you approach the door, a single cloud passes over the sun, casting a shadow on your path. You shiver and flinch. Watson chuckles. Hello! Welcome to our final session of this escape book. We are currently stuck in the Tower of London. So, as you approach the door, a single cloud passes over. I read that already. No, you're fine. So it's a Sherlock Holmes escape book, The Adventure of the Tower of London. It's like a mixture of escape room and choose your own adventure and solo TTRPG. So that's like the closest category that I have on Twitch. So that's where we are. So we are playing Sherlock Holmes, trying to solve a mystery. So let's see. And for some reason, this version of Watson loves telling us facts about everywhere we're going in the Tower of London, and I don't understand why. So he says, this tower is rumored to be haunted by the ghost of a black bear, he explains. I didn't put you down as the type to believe in ghost, Holmes, he continues. In fact, they had a whole menagerie here at one time, elephants, leopards, and even a polar bear. You keep moving. There's no time for this. Agreed. Come on, Watson. You push open the door. In the center of the floor is a small envelope. You open it and read. Let's see, we are on 38. If you can read that cursive. Here we are, Holmes. We have met our denouement. Everyone is trapped. Your dear Odon, who is a composer who's been kidnapped, is trapped. He'll be revealed as a traitor to the crown and disgraced. You are trapped here, powerless to do anything to stop it, beaten by my intellect. And I'll be trapped with a lifetime of riches and the knowledge that I have beaten you. Tally ho, old chap. M. Moriarty. So you sigh. None of this is quite new information, but to see it all written down and realize quite how far you are from your target winds you slightly. Come on, Holmes. There's something you should see here, Watson calls over to you, bringing you back to the room. We haven't time. He keeps saying this. Come on, Watson. Watson is right. You haven't. You walk over to join him. I'm curious to see if there's anything in here that's a clue. So, 63. Aha! We've got another puzzle. I'll go ahead and switch away from this one. Mark down that it's number 38. I'll mark down that it's number 38. Moriarty. Nope. Just so that we have that. Okay. So now we're going to number 63. Da-da-da! Where next? How many triangles? Watson is standing near a geometric image which has been scratched into the wall. Below it is a short message, where next, how many triangles? You consider the image. The crossed lines make triangles of all kinds and sizes, and triangles combine to make larger triangles again. You begin to count, but your thoughts feel a little scrambled. You concentrate and still your mind. You can't let Moriarty in, and you can't let him win. You need to focus. You stand completely still, eyes trained on the wall, and an answer begins to appear to you. Once you have your answer, turn to the passage with the same number. So, I always start with the smallest number and go from there. I wish that I could draw on my overlay, but I can't. So, 1, 2, 3, and we have to keep in mind that it doesn't go on the outer bounds outside of these lines. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is actually hard. How do I want to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I lost track. I've got this. Oh, and there's one over there too I need to count. 1, 2, 3. Wow, I missed that one the first time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I believe that it's 15. But y'all tell me what you think. I might look at the back to see if that's the correct answer, because they will do a very handy little visual, most likely. Wow, I was very off, actually. What? I'm gonna do this again. Wait, let me see what they... Let me look at the clue to see if I was just like, oh, well, you know, they'd go off the edge, blah, blah, blah. Use the corners. Oh, they have a full solution thing. I'm actually going to pull that up. So let's see. Uh-oh, did my caption stop working? No! Okay, hang on. Let me... Caption Ninja? No! Boo! What if I... go away and come back. I had to switch captions because Pixel Chat decided to stop working for me. There we go. Okay. Copy overlay link. Anyway, we've got it again. We're fine. I'm going to that website now. So we've got, you know what, I'm gonna go to the Ammonite Press link and then Sherlock Tower of London triangles. I'm curious if they're counting them differently than I am. Wait, are you serious? Y'all's link doesn't work. Rude. Okay, apparently we just don't get to know. That's fine. 9 exist individually, and the remaining 16 are made up of these triangles combined, or the triangles combined with other shapes. So I'm going to try one more time to find all of these, but I just don't see it. So I don't know if I can show my work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 individual ones, which I had found. 9. And then 10, 11, 12. I think I figured it out. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I see 17. Yeah, I don't see all of the ones that they're claiming, and I think that they might be using some weird edges. I don't know. I'm going to give up on that. The answer is 25. And I'm pretty sure that they would not have let me pick anything else. That's okay. Okay. So, from 63. This one makes me mad. Because I feel like they were not doing this correctly, but whatever. Okay. Putting that away, we're going to 25. Oh, I did not take a picture of this one, so y'all don't get to see the image I just read it to you. So, you make your way to the well tower. So-called Burbles Watson. Burbles? So-called Burbles Watson because it guarded the well. Thank you for that. You amaze me, says Sherlock. You look eagerly around. Holmes, we have been to almost every destination at the Tower of London, Watson says, and we're yet to find Odon or any way to stop this morning's threat. We must try and find a way out to prevent whatever is planned to take place on the bridge. You close the door behind you and find a note pinned to its inner surface. There's a final puzzle somewhere in the room, Watson. Let's get to work. You scan the room. It is bare. Not a clue. No hidden messages. I'm not so sure, Holmes. Perhaps Moriarty wants us to be stuck here, looking across rather helplessly at the bridge. So the note says, well, well, here we are. You come to the final hurdle. If you can find it, you will meet your hardest test. From the window, you see Watson is right. There's a fine, but in the circumstances, rather troubling view of the bridge. You look down at the wharf, at the river on which so many prisoners were delivered to the tower to meet their end. Yet at the back of your mind, something knocks. Is there something you read earlier that can help you now? Where is the well, Watson? It's not marked on the map. He looks at you quizzically. Is it worth going to investigate the well? Or should you stay in the room to prove you can overcome Moriarty's challenge? I believe that we should go to the well. Stay in the tower and carry on looking. Turn to 91. Look for the well. Turn to 30. I'm going to turn to 30, because that seems logical to me. Well tunnel. Around the corner from the well tower, you find the well boarded up. Watson wrenches off the wood covering to reveal steps going down. Should we? Asks Watson. You nod and lead the way down. You reach the bottom of the steps and begin to move quickly. The tunnels are narrow, musty, and clearly very old. Can you hear that, old chap? Watson asks, grabbing your arm. What? You stop and listen for a moment. Sounds like an animal coming after us. Watson begins to run, and you follow him. The sounds, whether of a beast or just the croaking old tunnels, get louder and more intense. There are moments where you are sure something is right behind you, and then you turn around to find nothing. After a couple of moments, you arrive, panting, at a fork in your path. Let's go right, Watson shouts, and begins to start off down the pathway. You pull him back. Look here, you say, pointing at something stamped into the dirt. It's a scrambled message of sorts. The writing is from a hand you don't recognize, and just below there are the initials M and S and a date, 1536. The coded message reads, and I'm going to go ahead and pop this in because we need our decoder. YHK MAX Matt FXL. Why am I doing that? I can just capitalize. Comma. ZH, is there space? That looks like a space. EXYM. Come on. Let me hit enter. There we go. Below the Y, someone has added an F. So that's our decoder information. That Y equals F. These tunnels must have been crafted during the Tudor reign, Watson says with awe. I wonder how many others have escaped down this path. Another howl from the tunnels returns you to the task at hand, and you set about decoding the message. So if we're turning left or turning right, we'll do different things. So Y is F. Okay. So as a reminder, use the decoder there, and we can decode together. Where did my pen go? There it is. Okay. So I need to actually write this down on here now. Y H K Max. We might not even need the decoder. It might just be shifting the alphabet. L, comma, Z, H, E, X, Y, M. Okay. I'm going to start by, actually, I'm going to switch colors because that'll work better for my brain. I'm writing in purple and now I'm going to write in green. So if Y is F, and of course there's one other Y. Okay, so what's the shift there? Let's see. Simple code. Decoder letter shift. Something like that will probably pop it up if that's the Caesar shift. I know what these things are called. We're fine. Let's see. So what's the shift though? Money? I think. Let's find out. Does that work? Decrypt. No, it did not work. Oh, maybe because I have the comma in there? Let's get rid of the comma. No, it did not. I'll do it manually if I have to. That's just not the most interesting thing in the world. Okay, this does not like it. Oh, no, wait, it is there. Okay, so that's not it. Because Y needs to be F. Ha! I got it. It was 19 or 7, but anyway. For the Thames, go left. Da-na-na. Work smarter, not harder. Oh no. Okay, good. I was like, did my captions go away again? Because that's one of those things. It's a very simple decoding cipher, the Caesar cipher. However, it takes time. So the fact that I recognized that's what I needed to do. That's the important thing. Okay. So I've got that. And forget where I was supposed to go. Okay, no, I'm on the page. So we're turning left. If you think you should turn left, turn to 62. I mean, should we? It says to go left if we're going to the Thames. I assume that's the case. So 62. The stairwell. You take the left fork. The howls and groans of the tunnel continue to chase you. You know rationally there's nothing there, but you keep moving faster and faster. The concert edges closer and closer. There's a concert we're supposed to get to at like 9 in the morning. It's September. And like daylight-wise, I feel like you don't have long. But anyway. So after a few minutes, the nature of the tunnel changes. You are no longer in walls made of packed dirt, but now in a path constructed of metal. You look around, you're getting closer to it, whatever it is. Suddenly you're at the end of the path, and at the bottom of a staircase. You have wholly lost your sense of direction, and have no clue as to whether you'll emerge in the middle of the Thames or on the opposite bank. You desperately hope you won't find yourself in one of London's infamous sewers. You look at Watson and he nods. No need for words here. You make a move towards the staircase. As you climb onto the first step, something knocks against your leg. It's a small coil of paper. On one side there are musical staves. The paper looks like it has been torn out of a composer's notebook. On the other side is a small sketch of the Tower of London. The perspective is odd, high up, and not one you've seen before. You show the sketch to Watson. Do you think this means we're headed back to the tower? Watson asks. I do hope not, you respond, but there's only one way to find out. You pocket the sketch and begin to climb. Turn to 90. I'm gonna laugh if most of the rest of this is no puzzles, but we're fine. Okay, let's see. 90 I did take a picture of. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show this. Our lovely, lovely image here. So you emerge at the top of one of the towers on the Tower Bridge. My goodness, quite a climb, Watson says, breathing heavily. He leans against you briefly. Remarkable, you think, that those Tudor tunnels were forgotten for hundreds of years, and even more so that they could have been extended to run halfway beneath the river to the towers of the bridge. A fine September morning, the doctor says. It's a good thing we both have a head for heights. You look sharply down and around in all directions, still seeking Odon. The concert... Oh, okay, the concert's later than I thought it was. The concert is scheduled for 11:30 a.m. Moriarty's plot must be set to reach its climax then, about 4 hours from now. How do you know that when your pocket watch doesn't work? Because it got dunked in a beer or gin or something. But anyway. You have the precious Stradivarius now and those puzzling notes. What role could there be in all of this for that? Watson moves away from you. Look, Holmes, what could that be? It's no clearer that the oblong structure is from here than it is when we saw it being lowered onto the bridge before. Oh yes, there was a weird thing being lowered onto the bridge, presumably for the concert. No. Come along, our friend Odon could be down there. You place your hand on Watson's arm. Odon's probably in the weird oblong thing. That would be my guess. Things are falling into place, you murmur. Your hand reaches into your pocket. Looking down at the Tower of London complex on the bank, your eye catches on the portcullis in the gateway. You shiver. Why? What's in the portcullis? I see nothing. We must be in the correct spot here, Watson, because this view matches exactly the one in the sketch we found earlier. Or, not exactly. There's certain differences, and see here, scratched on the wall in chalk, is this message. Look closely within and on the tower walls. Initially take notes, spin your way, and bring them together. I hate these phrases because they might make sense to the writers, but they don't really make sense to me. You hold the sketch in your left hand and take in the view. Decode Moriarty's latest instructions to find your next destination on the map. Okay, so there's some different, it's a spot the difference thing. So the portcullis is down in real life, but up in the picture, in the sketch. There's no flag on that one tower, like level with my hand, but on the far end. What else? Trees are missing. One of the towers is straight up missing in the center. What else? More trees, more trees. The attic of the barn or whatever it is missing. The stores. I don't know what they want me to do with this information, though. Okay. I think I found all of the missing things. So, look closely within and on the tower walls. Initially take note. Spin your way and bring them together. Initially take note would mean take note of the initials, the letters of the things that are missing, I would presume. So we have portcullis, maybe. Or it could just be Trader's Gate, TG. I'm just gonna note things. Trader's Gate, if I can spell. We have the Trader's Gate that's missing. We have the flag on... Where is that? I want to say that's on Byward Tower. Trees? I don't know. What's the tower in the center? That's here, Wakefield Tower, or is Bloody Tower? This would be really hard for someone who can't read maps, and I can, and it's hard. Yeah, that's the zigzag. I think it's the Bloody Tower. And the stores. Literally just stores. Because that's where we went to go up and found gemstones. Oh, and there's a window missing from, you see where the flag one is? The building right next to that, in between, has one of its windows missing. I'm just gonna freaking look at what the clue is. 90. Not solutions, clues. You've noted there are differences between the drawing and the view. How many? How many? Okay, what could initially take note mean? Note also the words, bring them together. Okay. I'm gonna look at the solution. This is annoying. The answer is 59. Okay. How is it 59? First, you need to determine which items are missing in the sketch. They are as follows. The flag in the far left of the image, the window in the rectangular building on the left of the image, the roof of the building on the far right, the stores, the tower in the foreground, and the portcullis at the center of the image. So I found all of the things that were missing. So that's cool. To solve the puzzle, take the first letter from each missing item, which I was guessing was a thing. So we have F for flag, W for window. I was thinking it was the actual named things, but okay. Flag, window, roof, tower, portcullis. F, W, R, T, and P. Then put these letters into the code wheel to convert them into numbers. Code wheel. Okay. 3, 17, 12, 26, and 1. And then add the numbers together to get their answer, 59. That was obnoxious. I'm sorry. That was very obnoxious. Hello, Tim. We're doing more of this nonsense, and I'm annoyed at the riddle. So, there were 5 things missing from the drawing that are there in real life, and we had to find the letters of the things: flag, portcullis, tower, roof, and window, and then we had to find the numbers here, and then we had to add them together, which all of this is nonsense. Just nonsense is my answer to this. So we're going to go to number 59 to continue, because that was annoying. Alts and keys. It's 59, you exclaim triumphantly. Watson looks a little perplexed. What does 59 mean, though, Holmes? Exactly. What does 59 mean? Is there a 59 on the map? Together you inspect the map closely, but there's no 59 to be seen. You experience a rare frisson of doubt. You move to return to the sketch in your position, which is hard to find with so many bolts and beams in the way. You look down at the floor and note something. Look here, Watson, you say. I do believe each of these bolts is numbered. Watson inspects the floor at his feet and agrees. Perhaps, you say, we are looking for bolt 59. You begin your search. The numbers appear to be random, so it's no easy task. The morning sun beats down against your neck, reminding you with each beam that you are edging closer and closer to 11:30 a.m. Your chance of foiling Moriarty's plans is slipping away. Here, Watson calls. He is brandishing an old and tarnished brass key. This was tied to bolt 59. Our musical friend has saved us, he exclaims. We just need to make our way to where Odon is trapped and we'll be able to release him. You let this new information sink in. After all of Moriarty's tricks and jibes, one key tied to a bolt feels far too simple. Show a leg. Show a leg? What? Show a leg, Holmes, Watson calls as he makes his way towards the large covered box. I think we should start here. You leave your reservations behind and follow him. Turn to 8. Show a leg. I've never heard this phrase before. Okay. Cage is the title of this one. You arrive at the large oblong and find it is a solid rectangular structure covered in black fabric. Attached to the fabric is a rope which ascends it to the very top of the tower. Beyond the oblong is a stage and hundreds of chairs and benches, all set up for the concert in 3 or 4 hours' time. Watson is walking around the structure, examining the fabric. After a few moments, he calls to you. Here, Holmes. There's a slit in the fabric just here. I do believe this is our way in. No. I lost track of where I was. You hurry over to join him. Together you move through the fabric slit and emerge into a corridor of the heavy material. Watson strikes a match to guide you. That sounds like a bad idea when you're enfolded in fabric, but sure. You stumble your way through the darkness for a couple of moments and then find yourself at the end of the corridor. You're at a doorway and a small silver lock. How big is this oblong? They've given me no sense of scale. I thought that it was going to be like coffin-sized, and I was so confused. Okay. You're at a doorway, and a small silver lock protrudes through a gap in the fabric. You think you can hear a muffled voice or voices just beyond. Odon, you wonder? Watson hands you the key, and you put it in the lock and turn. The door opens. Success! But suddenly there's an almighty clang. A metal gate has fallen behind you. Of course it has. You are now within a cage of crisscrossing metal bars. Seemingly trapped, you try the gate behind you. It is locked, but with an intriguing ancient lock. Curious. You push on through the fabric towards the muffled voice, and after a few moments you emerge into an opening. Odon is standing in front of you. You have never met this man before. I don't think you've seen a photo before. How do you know that this is Odon? That's my question. Anyway, we're turning to 95. This is a lot of reading, and not a lot of interesting puzzles. Okay. Hello, old chap, Odon says. lugubriously. I think I said that right. Walking slowly over. I'm going to look up this word. Looking sad, looking or sounding sad and dismal. I love it. I approve. What the devil, you splutter? Why didn't you warn us or try to get out when we opened the door? I didn't know who was coming in. I was keeping well away. I did try and call out, but the fabric is thick and it must have muffled the message. It's a booby trap, my dear Holmes. We're locked in. Have you met him before? I don't recall. I'm pretty sure that Holmes has not met this guy before. Anyway, we're locked in. As for trying to escape, well, I would be playing into their hands. I decided that the only way out of this is to play the game to the end, he said. And win, you say. But it looks like I have lost, he said gloomily. Scattered around the room, poking out of bags strewn across the floor, are the missing crown jewels. A part of you wants to take a moment to marvel at them. An incredible amount of wealth sits with you in this room. We know about your plot, Watson says, turning to Odon and sighing, that you planned to reveal Brother Andor's plans for the monastery at today's concert. Indeed, Odon responds, Brother Andor and Moriarty, I should say. They've been building this plot together for years. Moriarty traveled to Hungary to take refuge at the monastery following your time together at the Reichenbach Falls, and it was there they hatched the plan. You nod. It's all falling into place, like that door behind you. That was my addition. Andor tried to recruit me, and I knew I needed to share his disastrous plan with the world, somewhere neutral but high profile. I like that neutral's in single quotes. I had to let them think their plan was working, but expose them at the last minute. I believed this concert a good fit for that. They must have found out somehow, and have now trapped me here with the crown jewels to discredit my name and obscure my message. Odon raises his voice. No one will trust me after this, Holmes. They will have the monastery. They will have won. They're trying to steal all of the money from the monastery? Question mark? I don't know. Trapped us here, but not won, you correct him. You consider the room once more and take in your predicament. Turn to 40. We have more music notes. Ish. 40. Did I? I did. We have this. Watson has returned to the curious old lock in the metal gate and is considering it with an intense gaze. You go over and join him. See here, Holmes, it's these letters again. MSAB. I'll go ahead and write that down. Simple enough, but good to have it written. Okay. And above the letters, there's a short sequence of notes. I do wonder, Holmes, whether perhaps our musical friend has in fact been helping us after all. Excuse me. He continues, Goodness, Holmes, you don't think this can be the lock. You are already adding strings to your Stradivarius. Odon joins you and inspects the lock, too. MSAB, he reads aloud. Perhaps Mark Smeaton and Boleyn? He sighs. As he locked me in, Moriarty told me you'd be joining me here and that this lock would be triggered. It is thought to be the most complex and secure lock ever to have been invented, and there's only one key. We are well and truly stuck. You begin to tune the strings. Your mind is slipping back through the night, gathering notes on paper and encoded letters. You are finding your tune. You turn to Odon. There might be only one key, but there's more than one way out. You begin to play. So I think we need the notes. I'm just going to go through and find. So we have my sweet. I'm looking at the words that are over the notes. MS, my sweet. Because we found them all at this point, I think. Ah! Hang on, 52. We have this. So those are all D's. On this weird scale. My sweet love. No, that's different. My sweet love for... For my sweet love. For my sweet love. I think... I don't... What do they want here? EFGB. So if we go with... Man, I need to move all of these around, I guess. So we have this one here. 13. I'll just scatter these all around. 14. Okay. $66. There we go. And 74. There we go. See, the way I'm reading this is for my sweet love. Make that smaller. But I have no clue exactly what I'm supposed to do with this information. MSAB. And then we have, oh yes, 40. There. Enjoy the randomness of all of this. So we have these notes here. D. And we're supposed to play 4 notes. So there's EFGB, FDGB, GBDA. I'm gonna look at the clue for 40. So it says, how might the bars of music you discovered through the night be useful here? I don't know, you tell me. You tell me. Everything that's on the D? That sounded dirty. We'll ignore that. MSAB. Like, if there was an AB on these letterings, that would make sense, but there isn't. I'm gonna say I'm going to choose a random one. I'm going to choose FDGB. That's what we're going to play. Hang on 1 second, I need to respond to something. Doop, doop, doop. Next. Send. Okay. Okay. I'm going to turn to 92 and see what happens. Hey! Roll of the dice. I'm proud of myself. The truth will out. The correct sequence of notes opens the lock and the door of the cage swings outward. You know what? I'm gonna see if they say the reasoning behind it in the text. Let's see. What on earth, Odon says? The lock was made so that it could be opened by the right sequence of notes, you murmur. Ah, I didn't know. He looks deeply puzzled. The power of love, Watson exclaims. If it's true what they say about Mark Smeaton making the lock for his queen, and those notes, old man, they remind one of the sequence we heard so faintly in the tower each time. In the end, Holmes, my historical knowledge rather came in useful. Did it? Did it? I don't know. He's right. Those notes. You all exit the cage and push through the heavy fabric. Outside, the concert looks set to start imminently. Imminently? Wasn't it supposed to be in 3 hours? Anyway. You, Watson, and Odon manage to lose yourselves in the crowd. Rather gleefully, you watch Inspector Lestrade approaching alongside a tall, thin monk you guess must be Andor. And I can now reveal that we will find the crown jewels here, where my brother and his accomplices are imprisoned. He leads them to the folds of fabric surrounding the cage. You all three stride across and hear his words trail away, and laughter and jeers ring out. Coming back out, Lestrade is speaking. The cage is empty apart from the jewels. This puts you in the frame yourself, my good man. How did you know the jewels were here? Good morning, Brother Andor. You smile, stepping forward. Lestrade, you point to Andor. Here's your villain, Inspector. He has been scheming with our old friend James Moriarty to defraud the historic, I cannot pronounce this, Pananalma Abbey. May I introduce Andor's sibling, the composer Odon... These names are so hard. Odon von Mihelvik. He is here because he tried to prevent Andor, and so this supposed holy man attempted to frame his own brother as a thief. I believe you have some explaining to do, Brother Andor, Lestrade says, taking a firm hold of him. Please ensure the jewels are taken to a safe place, Constable Nelson. You're trusting a constable with the crown jewels? Lestrade gestures to one of his subordinates. Now, Odon, you say. We must get along to the concert. Come along, Watson. Turn to 84. And we're at the end. There was like no puzzling left to do in this. Hang on. I'm going to look at, what was it, 90? No. This one. 40. I'm going to look at 40's solution. Okay. Tell us. So, MSAB, Mark Smeaton, Anne Boleyn, has been threaded through the night, bringing together bars of music and information about the composer Mark Smeaton. You've found 4 bars of music there, and information about the composer, with each with a one-word title. These bars should be read in the following order: For My Sweet Love, which is what I assumed, and I had put them in that order. Previously in passage 19, you heard this as a full phrase attributed to Smeaton by Watson. The sequence of notes that can be seen on the lock tell you which note to pay attention to in each bar. Oh, okay. I was not clocking that at all. I see it now. So in 4, let's point in the correct direction. It's that first note, which is the F. Then my is the, I don't remember music terminology, the quarter note, I think, which is D, so F, D, and if I had had that, I would have immediately gotten, actually, if I had the F, I would have immediately gotten it, because there's only one sequence that has an F to start with. But anyway, so, okay, well, I don't know, maybe I should have been able to get that, maybe not. There were too many letters and things going on, so it foiled me. Let's see. So this combined with the letter key in passage 52, which I believe I have on the screen. Yep, okay. Indicates the correct sequence of notes is F, D, G, B. You play these notes and the lock opens, turn to 92. Now we know. hypothetically a fun puzzle. I think that there was just one too many elements to all of this for it to function. Works for Holmes, of course. But let's read about the end. Despairing? Looking gloomily around the police cell in which you're being held? No. No, I'm on the wrong one. Not 85. 92. I was like, I'm not gloomily. I figured it out. 84. I was off by 1. Oh, no. There's more. We're good. There's more stuff happening. So, God save the Queen. I'm not at the end yet. So, Odon is hurried to the front of the audience seating to shake hands with the conductor, Edward Elgar, and to find the space reserved for him. You and Watson look without success for a place and opt to stand in the back. The orchestra is warming up. Holmes, what a haunting tone. Looking across, you see Wilhelmine Norman Neruda, one of your favorite violinists. She catches your eye as she plays a note. The sun comes briefly from behind a cloud and touches her reddish gold hair. It triggers a memory of seeing a flash of hair in the tower during the night, and you wonder, is there something familiar about the note she plays? Interesting. Was she involved in the plot in some way? Who left the strings and bars of music for you in the tower? Soon, everyone is standing as the orchestra launches into God Save the Queen, and Her Majesty is ushered in to take a seat at the very front. The sun comes out fully as the musicians play Sweet Thames Run Softly, and you close your eyes. 27. There we go. There's our ending. All's well that ends well at 221B. More tea, my dear. Perhaps a scone. Mrs. Hudson is treating Odon like an old friend. Meanwhile, he's speaking. After I wrote to you, Sherlock, and received no response, I came up with a rather more intriguing plan involving taking and returning your Stradivarius. Rest assured, I treated it most carefully to attract your attention. I knew if I could engage your attention, you would help, but then Moriarty and Ander took matters into their own hands, hoping to disgrace you and me at the same time. But the haunting notes we heard at the tower, you ask. You were under lock and key at the time. Odon smiles mysteriously. My accomplice, seeing that I had been taken captive, had to work alone. She found the secret of the lock. He chuckles, and shared it with you. Why wouldn't she share it with him? Anyway, when you entered the cage, I thought we were done for. I had no idea about the lock's musical secrets. Why didn't your accomplice simply pass me the information I needed? Watson asks Odon. A valid question. Your reply, oh, come on, Watson. We can never be sure who's watching from the shadows. Oh, please. What a thing of beauty the lock is, Watson says. I had heard the stories, of course, about Mark Smeaton and Anne Boleyn, but always assumed they were myths. We don't know, though, you add, whether the lock really was made by Smeaton. But surely, Holmes. MSAB, Watson continues to clarify Mark Smeaton and Anne Boleyn. Oh, come on, Mrs. H says. Allow a little romance into your life. You prefer to reserve judgment. Well, Odon chuckles, as the bard says, all's well that ends well. Perhaps a glass of port to toast that all has ended well. Watson smiles. You drink to Watson's toast and peruse the reports of your adventure, and we have our lovely Evening Gazette. Holmes foils plot on Tower Bridge, scheming villain in custody. Baker Street's finest halts daring attempt to steal crown jewels. Her Majesty delighted as detective saves celebration concert and uncovers attempt to frame composer. And then I'll read the actual article. You know what I mean. I'm gonna get rid of all of these. Where's that one? There it is. Okay, so our proud country's most brilliant detective Sherlock Holmes triumphed once again, foiling a dastardly plot at London's Tower Bridge involving the attempted theft of the crown jewels and unmasking Brother Andar von, I'm not going to bother, von M, of the Panorama Abbey in Hungary as an unscrupulous villain. In doing so, Holmes also stopped Andar's attempt to frame his brother, the composer Odon von M, and uncovered a scheme involving notorious criminal mastermind Professor James Moriarty, whom many had assumed to be dead, to sell off many of the historic riches from the Abbey's celebrated library. Continued on page 3. Secret of musical two-door lock discovered. A unique musical two-door lock that opens when the correct sequence of notes is played was used by the kidnappers and thieves in this scheme. Previously, the lock was thought to be operated by key, and only a single key remained in existence. The lock was said to have been invented by court musician Mark Smeaton, who was the alleged lover of Queen Anne Boleyn and was executed at the Tower on 17 May 1536. Then, Alley Orchestra shines, Norman Neruda magnificent. The foiling of the plot allowed Hungarian composer Odon von M's sublime orchestral piece, Sweet Thames Run Softly, to be performed to a select audience, including Queen Victoria, to celebrate Her Majesty today becoming Britain's longest ruling monarch. The Alley Orchestra was simply magnificent, and a solo performed by the violinist Wilhelmine Norman Neruda was exemplary. Is this a real person? This name is awful. A lot of these names are awful. No offense to Hungarians. I'm sorry. They're hard to pronounce. Her haunting notes thrilling in the autumn air. The soloist surprised onlookers by saying, "I'm delighted Mr. Holmes was able to be here today." And then the last article is, Tales of Giant Rat of Sumatra cause panic. Ship lost. The loss of the Matilda Briggs and hair-raising tales of attacks on sailors by the giant rat of Sumatra are circulating at the Port of London. Asked by a reporter about the incident, with which he is known to have become involved, Sherlock Holmes said, "It is a story for which the world is not yet prepared." Okay. Now on that note, we have finished the adventure of the Tower of London. This session not so successfully with the puzzles and stuff, but as is life. Not all puzzles are able to be solved by people quickly, and I'm better at some more so than others. So, 'tis life. L'chaim. So, on that note, I am going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'll see if there's anyone to raid into. But thank you so much for joining me in our Sherlock Holmes escape book. I have more. There's a new one that has been published, but I do also have one more to do. I forget which one it is. I see it on my shelf. It is red, but we'll find out when I get to it. But thank you all for joining me with this, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.